Hello, and welcome to the greatest debate in wrestling history. It's the battle of the best, Mr. Perfect versus Bret the Hitman Hart. And unfortunately, joining me is my broadcast partner, Steve, who is about as unbiased as a crooked referee.
Oh please, Monsoon. I mean, Simon. Let's be real here. This isn't even a debate. Mr. Perfect was the greatest technical wrestler to ever lace up a pair of boots. The man was called Perfect for a reason. The gum spit, the towel catch, the flawless execution, he had it all.
You conveniently forgot that Bret Hart beat Mr. Perfect not once, but twice on the biggest stages. SummerSlam 1991 and King of the Ring 1993. How's that for Perfect?
Oh, big deal. The man wrestled with a bad back in 91 and still put on a clinic. You think Bret Hart would have even had a shot if Perfect was 100%? Absolutely not. And let's not forget, Simon. Mr. Perfect held the Intercontinental Championship longer than Bret ever did. That belt meant something when Curt Hennig
Bret Hart didn't need to hold on to the Intercontinental title because he was too busy being a 5-time WWF champion, a Royal Rumble winner, a King of the Ring, and the best technical wrestler of his era.
Oh, here we go again. Every time you talk about Bret Hart, it's like you're reading his resume at a job interview. 5-time WWF champion. You know who wasn't champion 5 times? Mr. Perfect, because he didn't need to be. The man was already the best.
He wasn't WWF champion because every time he got near the main event scene, he either got injured or Ric Flair was there to do all the heavy lifting. Meanwhile, Bret was carrying the company on his back.
Carrying the company on his back? Bret Hart had all the charisma of a broken pencil. He couldn't cut a promo to save his life. At least Perfect had some personality. When that man talked, you believed he was the best. Bret? He just mumbled about excellence and being the best there is, was, and ever will be. I've had naps that were more exciting than his promos.
Oh, give me a break. Bret didn't need to scream and shout like some cartoon villain to get over. His wrestling did the talking, and that's why people respected him. Name me one bad Bret Hart match.
Okay, how about that time he wrestled Bob Backlund at WrestleMania 11? I've seen tumbleweeds move faster than that match.
I said a bad match, not a slow one. Meanwhile, Mr. Perfect had his fair share of stinkers. You ever see his match against Brutus the Barber Beefcake at WrestleMania 6? I've seen better action in a retirement home.
That's because Brutus Beefcake couldn't wrestle his way out of a paper bag. Mr. Perfect carried that match. The man could have wrestled a broomstick and made it look good. He was that talented.
Oh, you mean like Bret Hart did with Diesel? Or with British Bulldog at Wembley Stadium? Or with Steve Austin at WrestleMania 13?
Oh, don't get me started on that Wembley Stadium match. You think that was Bret Hart's moment? Davey Boy carried him that night, not the other way around. If it wasn't for the Bulldog's sheer strength, Bret would have been just another guy getting suplexed all over England.
That's a ridiculous take, and you know it. Bret led that entire match. He made Bulldog look like $1 million, and that's what makes him great. He didn't just wrestle great matches, he made his opponents better.
Oh, so now Bret Hart is a miracle worker? What's next? You're gonna tell me he turned water into wine after the match?
No, but he turned Steve Austin into the biggest star of the Attitude Era with their WrestleMania 13 match. That's more than Mr. Perfect ever did for anyone.
That's not fair. Mr. Perfect had injuries. His back gave out before he could really get to the main event. You think if he was 100% healthy, Bret Hart would even be in the conversation? No way. Mr. Perfect was the best in-ring performer of his time, bar none.
Injuries are unfortunate, but you can't give him credit for what could have been. Bret Hart took the ball and ran with it. He went from mid-card guy to world champion. Mr. Perfect, for all his talent, never broke through that
Because
ceiling.
he was too good for the politics. Bret Hart played the game, shook the right hands, kissed the right babies. Mr. Perfect just showed up, out-wrestled everyone, and left. He didn't need to be world champion to prove he was the best.
And yet, Bret Hart actually became the best. The man was trusted to carry the WWF into a new era, and he did it without gimmicks, without politics, just pure wrestling ability.
And yet, when the chips were down, when it came time for a real champion to carry the company into the Attitude Era, who stepped up? Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, not Bret Hart. Mr. Perfect may not have been in the main event, but at least he didn't leave the company in shambles.
That's not on Bret Hart. That's on Vince McMahon for screwing him over in Montreal. You can't fault a guy for being loyal to a company that stabbed him in the back.
Hey, all I'm saying is, Mr. Perfect didn't have to whine about getting screwed. He just showed up and put on 5-star matches, injured or not.
And Bret Hart didn't need to whine. His legacy speaks for itself. The The greatest in-ring storyteller, the best technical wrestler, and the man who put on some of the greatest matches in history.
Pfft, please. Mr. Perfect was the most naturally gifted performer in the business. Bret Hart had to work at it. Perfect was just born better.
And yet, Bret won more titles, had better matches, and accomplished more. I think that settles it.
Nah, it just proves he had better luck. But deep down, you know, Mr. Perfect was just that. Perfect.
And yet, history says otherwise.
Yeah. But history doesn't account for taste, Simon. If you want a wrestling clinic, you watch Mr. Perfect. If you want a good nap, you watch Bret Hart.
Oh, will you stop?
Make me, Monsoon!
I hope you enjoyed this bite-sized wrestling debate. If you want more legendary showdowns like this, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more.
You forgot to tell the humanoids to like the video. Like the video humanoids. That way Simon will have a smile on his face for once.
Of course. Sorry, like the video, and I'll see you on the next one.